Hello everyone, happy Wednesday. Welcome to another Inspire Fireside Chat. Today we have the amazing Tracey Mallett and we'll be talking about Barre, of course, life and challenges. How challenges have made Tracey Mallett career boom. Also, I wanted to show you at the end and stay tuned for this amazing gift set that we have prepared for the holiday season. I am Paola Shah. I am the founder and CEO of Dockets. Dockets are high performance socks that enhance the foot brain connection and give you confidence to step in any barefoot activity. Remember, Dockets are made in Colombia with love and care and with people and sustainability in mind. We have Tracey, I think, joining us very soon. I was running. I was kind of trying to get here on time. Let me see. We're waiting for Tracey. Let me see if I see her. Oh, I think Tracey. Let's see what's happening. It says unable to join. Just send invitation. It's connecting. Yay!
Yay! I'm here.
Hey Tracy,
Yay!
how are you?
I'm good. It's like the communication is like crazy, isn't it? You're like, oh my God, am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? But I'm here. I just
So
made it.
can you hear me properly?
Yeah, I can hear. I've got my little earbuds in, so the audio is a little bit easier.
And I
We're
just
getting.
want to make sure if anyone that is viewing at this moment can confirm that you can hear Tracy and I properly. Someone just like thumbs up or something, shares a sign.
Yeah.
Oh, so let's hope that's the case. Okay, so let's start. Tracy, thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm very excited. And then let's start with an introduction. I prefer to
Whoops! I'm just
let my
moving my
guests
lovely.
introduce themselves. And then, so Tracy, can you tell us who is Tracy?
It was so great to be here. Thanks for inviting me. And I love to support entrepreneurial women. And I believe that yesterday was Entrepreneurial Day, which I didn't realize until today. So I love supporting women out there that are trying to make a difference in the world. And I know you are, which is awesome. Tracey Mallett, I've been in the fitness and lifestyle industry for many, many years. 20 plus. Let's just keep it there. Only a couple of years, And yes, I am a Pilates master trainer, also bar and fitness. I'm the creator of Booty Bar and Be Barless. And actually, it's bizarre because 10 years ago we did our anniversary for Booty Bar, and now exactly this time last year. So it's interesting seeing all the throwbacks. You see all the throwback pictures, all these people together, and now it's 11 years. And where's that year gone? It's just gone like that. So it's just been, a crazy time. But yes, I'm thankful for my Booty Bar and Be Barless people. And I'm also have my own app, Pilates Bar on Demand, that I did launch a year ago. And so that's doing really, really well. And yeah, I'm a little bit of an entrepreneur. I like just to inspire people and motivate them to be the best person that they can be, whether it's through exercise, mental, or nutrition.
Mm-hmm. I saw that you're about to launch, or I guess you just did the video shoot of VR Lou.
Yeah, it's really interesting for me. Was yesterday I had the pleasure of it was called VR Lou at VR, and it's VRLU or VR Lou, and it's virtual TV. So for me, it's pretty crazy to think that the first video that I ever did for like commercial reasons was Fox Fit TV, that went into a video that was into a VHS and Betamax at the same time. So they went with VHS, then it went into a DVD, and then I'm standing here yesterday and I'm like, this is the future. Oh my gosh, virtual.
Yeah,
So
the
soon,
goggles.
yeah, we'll have the little goggles on, and you'll be able to get into the room and like work out with you and all the people around you, which is like really funny because the girls that are in front of me, I usually work out in videos with girls behind me. And I was like, girls, they're going to be watching you. They're not necessarily watching me because they're walking into the room and being in the
Right.
class with you. So
They
that
can
was a
watch
very,
every
yeah,
single corner of the room.
yeah. So that's coming. That's the next thing. It just keeps on going, keeps on moving.
I
So
know, that's great. And then, so let's go back in time a bit and let's talk about what were you doing before Pilates and Bar? Where were you living?
yeah, well, I'm originally from England. I'm from the middle of England, near Manchester,
Mhm.
Birmingham, kind of in the middle there. It's actually a little small town. And actually, if you follow soccer or football, it's Wolves now is doing well. It's near Wolverhampton, and that's kind of where I'm from, and very in the middle of England. And it was called the
I
Black.
lived in the UK for 4.5 years.
Oh, you did? Which part of the UK?
London, but
Oh, you was in London?
yeah, just in
Love.
London. I was working there, but I travel around a lot. So
Where in London?
The UK is very dear to me.
Oh,
Notting
yes.
Hill, Notting
Notting
Hill.
Hill. Well, when I was 16, I went to theatre art school in London, and I lived actually not, I lived in Battersea for a while.
Uh-huh.
Also lived in central London because I was at a theatre school, art school called Italia Conti, which is in the Barbican. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
lived in London for a long time too. So that's kind of like I got like
your
many
home.
homes.
Yeah, you have many homes. Yeah, you're
But
like me.
yeah, even though I've lived here for like 20 years, I still consider myself British. And I mean,
You haven't lost the
obviously,
accent.
no, not really. I think it's like, well, when I go back to England, people go like, where are you from? And then when I'm here, people go, oh, are you Australian? I'm like, yeah, I'm Australian. So
Yeah,
I'm I say I'm multi-marketable. You can't define where I'm from.
which
So
is
because the accent has changed so much. But yeah, England is very dear to me because that's all my family is still there. Like all of them are all still there in the Midlands. And with the pandemic and everything, obviously, I can't go back to them. They can't come here. It's just really sad. But hopefully we got to stay positive. It'll all be a blink one day, and we just have to stay positive. That's all that we can do, really. But yes.
yeah. So we're talking. You were going to mention what were you doing before
So yeah, so
getting into Pilates and Bar?
I moved to London when I was doing theatre art school, and it was there that I was introduced to a classical dance conditioning, which was half on the bar, half on the floor. And I didn't realize that I was doing obviously bar technique. My ballet teacher was very much into Lottie Burke, bar technique.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing Pilates, and I didn't know that I was doing it, but I loved it, fell in love with it because Pilates was so good from an aesthetic point of view. I was like, wow, my legs look so much better. I can feel my inner thighs and my core, of course. I mean, I looked like I had a strong core, but I was very weak because really wasn't trained how to use my core correctly. I was a dancer, I was super flexible. So that was the turning point really for me, doing that dance conditioning class and seeing the benefits it had to my body and how it enhanced my dancing techniques. I think that inspired me to keep moving. And then, of course, dance. I taught dance conditioning on the side while I was at theatre art school and while I was auditioning for West End. And I never thought that it would actually become my actual career. I just did it for fun because it was like a natural extension of being on a stage. But now you're in front of all these people, you're moving them, you're going to the rhythm of the music, you're kind of entertaining them at the same time because when you're a group exercise instructor, even as a Pilates instructor, you're still motivating them to move, and you're still kind of like being on a stage. You're there to inspire them to move. So it was a natural progression for me. And then I went on to a cruise ship. I did West End musical. This is a musical theater. And then I went on to do cruise ships, which was a lot of fun. And then after the cruise ships, I met my husband while I was working on cruise ships, and that's how I got to be in LA because he was going to theater art school no, sorry, no, he wasn't going to theater art school. I'm sorry, he was going to USC to do a doctorate in physical therapy. So we ended up in Los Angeles because he was going to USC, and then we opened up a Pilates studio here in LA in, that was 2000. We opened up our own physical therapy Pilates studio in 2000 in Pasadena. And so that was the start of that little business there, the Pilates and physical therapy business. And then prior to that, when I moved here in 96, I auditioned for a Fox Fit TV, which is really interesting for me because I'll explain how this happened, because I know there's going to be people listening here who are fitness instructors or people who are starting out in the industry. And people always asking, well, how did you get from here to here? And really, it was actually kind of a fluke to a certain extent. But I don't believe there is no coincidences in life. I don't believe that at all. I believe you make your own destiny. Do you agree with me? Absolutely right.
There is always a debate of is it hard work or luck? And I think it's a bit of both. I think life brings opportunities, and it's up to you to take them or not. And
that is so true.
Right?
Yeah, so. It's so true. I think it's a bit of both. And I happen to be in a gym, and I happen to be teaching this cardio kickboxing with Pilates at the end, because that's what I did. I mean, that sounds like kind of normal now, but then in 96, it really wasn't. And it was actually the time when Taibo, you remember Taibo was really big, Billy Blanks. I used to go and take his classes because it was so fun. It was and it was over in Burbank, which is near where I lived. So that was really in at that time. So anyway, one of my group coordinators was really good friends with the producer. And she said, you know what? They're auditioning for girls that can host a TV show, that can teach it all, that can teach Pilates, that can teach dance, that can do everything. You're perfect for it. Audition for it. Okay. Audition for it. Got the job. And that was the turning point of my career. And that's just how it happened. However, I was given the opportunity. I think once you get the opportunity, you have to act on it, and then your talent will take you further. Sometimes it's hard to get that opportunity. You have to be in the right time at the right place. Is that a coincidence?
Right. But probably you prepare for that audition, right? It's not okay.
Oh, no. Yeah, you prepare for the audition. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So life gives you the opportunity, and you decide what you do with it, right? Sometimes the result is not up to us. The final result, because someone else is deciding, but you decide what to do with that. And this is kind of the idea of this fireside chat. It's just to show what it takes to get where you are, right? And this is where I want to get with this conversation, is for you to tell us basically the behind the scenes.
I think that I think people, especially on social media, it was it's so easy, you're there, you've got a great personality, or you look great, or whatever it is, it must have come easy to you. And no, nothing ever comes easy. You make it look like it comes easy because that's the whole appeal, right? But it really isn't. And I think with me, I've always been very transparent, but being in the industry for a long time, you understand I've been through so many changes. In 96, this didn't happen. I couldn't get on social media and be me. All you saw was something that the company I was working with, they manipulated to basically, well, I wouldn't say manipulated, that's kind of a not nice word, but they put out an image of what they wanted. So you think that people are actually like that. It's like an actor or an actress. You see them in a show and you think they're like that in real life. No, they're not. They're just like me and you. And so you wasn't able to be able to go onto social media platforms like this and say, look, this is me. I'm just like you. I'm just normal, And so in 96, when I was doing that, they would have the forums. They'd have the video forums. And there'd always be the lovers and there's always be the haters. That doesn't change. You know, there'd always be the people that don't have much to do but just to go in and go, oh, well, she's naturally skinny, or she's a Barbie doll on acid, or whatever it would be. My famous saying, I love that when someone says that. But they don't really know what's behind it. But now what's so great is that people, you know, on here can be who they are, and you either like them or you don't. And you can be that transparent person. I am who I am, and I am very transparent, and I like to continue that way. So people have no expectations. I am who I am. And I do truly believe that when I started being able to have a voice, just like you're having a voice behind your brand, that is when really my career started to take off.
When was that? Like, what was the turning point of you having a voice?
I think the turning point was about 11 years ago, I would say. I saw it like 10 years, no, probably about 12 years ago, when I started producing my own videos. Because prior to that, I was with other brands, like big brands, and I was like work for hire. So I was a talent for hire. I wasn't me. I was what they wanted me to be.
Right.
Then I did my own videos, produced them myself. And interesting enough, like how expensive it was then to produce your own videos. So expensive.
Right.
And now it's...
Because you needed the big camera, the big lights.
Yeah, we had like 3 cameras. We had the jib that would come down.
Right.
And it was very expensive, but that's what was expected. You know, if you were going to buy a DVD, you wanted the production. And so I've been brought up in that era, which is very hard for me to come away from. And that's why when I try and produce my videos, like on my app and everything, I have a certain level that I want to achieve. Just because that's what I do believe people come in for an experience, and it's not just about you. It really is about your ambience, your surroundings. It's nice to get those live videos where the dog jumps in or my son runs in. That is great. The escapism too. They want a little bit of both, which is what I like to give. But I think it was when we were able to have that Facebook, that social interaction, that really my career started to take off, because I think people started to see like the face behind the brands, like you're the face behind the brand. So by doing this is really good for your business, because people see you're not just a pair of socks. You're more than a socks. You're a woman. You're an entrepreneur. You're trying to bring people together. And this is what's so great about using social media to do that for your brand and for your business. Yeah.
Right. And then, so let's talk a bit about because you're both an authority in Pilates and Barre, right?
Right.
And then, so if I am just a practitioner, how do I choose where to go? When do I choose Barre? When do I choose Pilates?
And that's a great question, because when I started Booty Bar, nearly 11 years ago now, I started it with the intention of really bringing Pilates to the bar. But I never called it Pilates, because I am a Pilates. I love Pilates. I have my own Pilates studio. I teach on the reformers. I've been extremely well trained. I've taught teachers. But I wanted to bring Pilates to the bar. So this was my interpretation of what bar is. And because bar right now, over the many, many years, there's many different interpretations of what bar is. And so when people say, can you define bar? And I can define bar for what I think it is, but your definition will be different. I believe that bar for me is bringing the aspects of Pilates technique, placing it onto a bar, mixing it with some dance techniques that are safe with the body and alignment, and adding that athletic fitness element to it to bring all of that together. So it's not just mind body. Mind body is you using your mind to control your body, which you should be doing anyway. And it's not just fitness, it's like right in the middle, because my background is mind body, but it's also fitness too. So for many, many years in my career, it was challenging because you're either one or the other. You can't be both.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only since I think the Method Show in 96, when we started fusing things together for the first time they put Pilates on video with Jennifer Crease, and there was Lisa Wheeler, and there was myself. The first time they put actually Pilates actually on a video, because prior to that it was never on a video actually, and that's actually the first time they put Pilates on a video. And it was the first time they actually fused things together, really, because people weren't, I mean, I'm sure they were, but it wasn't put out there in the media per se. So we were like the innovators of like fusion fitness. And I feel that I was able to do that because I have a strong background in both. I don't just have a background in bar. What is bar? I have a strong background in both, so I was able to put the fusion together safely. And so as far as which one do you choose, you can choose both. Absolutely. I do both. I don't just do bar. I don't just do booty bar. I do Pilates. I love classical Pilates, contemporary Pilates. I love everything about Pilates, but I also like bar work too, because it has the elements of the essence of what makes Pilates, which is all about alignment. It's about a purpose. It's about moving the body biomechanically correct as much as we can. But now you add in the element of, yeah, let's move, let's have fun, let's swing those hips, let's enjoy ourselves, let's get to the bar, let's do it. You got both. So for me, that's kind of where I've always resonated, both. But I do just Pilates because I'm a very hyper person, as you can see. So Pilates for me definitely chills me out, brings me back down. I'm like, okay, come on, get a grip, Tracy. Like, chill out. And, so yeah, it definitely. So everyone should do both. I do believe you should do both because it's good for you. You got to get your heart going.
Everything. You should have for me,
do everything.
As long as there is good music around and I can dance. Doesn't matter if it's bar, Pilates, whatever. But if I can dance, that's good. You're
smiling already because we're talking about dance and movements.
Right.
It's movement. You're smiling already because you just can't help it. Exactly. Especially with this pandemic, we got to move. And it's been really fun for me to actually, I've taught so much online right now on Zoom, teaching teachers, booty bar and B-barless as teacher trainers. That's been so much fun because I'm teaching them how to be in front of a camera now, which is bizarre, you know?
So for the ones that don't know, what is the difference between booty bar and then B-barless?
Yeah, actually it's a good question because people think it's the same, because if you're coming into the industry and you're like, you know what, I love bar. And if you don't have any real particular background, it's so hard to figure out what is bar, because you're bombarded with so many different bar programs, and then people in quadruped or people are in the middle of the room and I'm doing bar. And for me, and I'll always label this, if I'm doing bar, I'm at the bar. If I'm doing bar less, B-bar less, off the bar, right? So booty bar is, I teach people how to use a bar, not just there to hold on to, hey, I'm doing bar, this looks great. No, it's about alignment. It's about using the bar for shoulder stabilization. It's about using it for a purpose to activate muscles that you probably wouldn't activate if you was not on a bar. And then the principles of being a dancer too. Dancers use bar for a reason, right? They use bar to be able to prepare themselves to be able to doing the exercises in the center of the room because they've got assistance, right? So be barless, I named it be barless, and I put bar in it for marketing reasons more than anything. And it's trademarked. Be barless is a trademark name because it's trendy and people wanted bar. So I said be barless, dare to go barless, because you're going without a bar, but you're emulating things that you would technically do on a bar. But if you really think about it, it's very Pilates-esque. It's very much like a Pilates-esque, but it's things that you do at a bar. That's why there's a lot of confusion with it, because what is bar? So, and now I see a lot of people like on Instagram, this is a bar workout. So I'm looking, expecting to see a bar, and there's no bar. It looks more like an interval workout to me, not a bar. So that's something that I think we all need to work on a little bit. Like if it's a bar, you should be at a bar. And if it's bar-less, then we're off the bar in the center of the room. But it's kind of like Pilates sculpt, really, to be honest. Yeah.
I love this. And I love this because, I've been interviewing, like last month, it was all about Pilates. This November is all about bar. And I've been interviewing
That's so great.
different people. And I decided to you for bar more than Pilates, because I think, personally, I think of you and it's kind of bar. But
Thank you.
I also see you Pilates anytime. So it's it. But I was like, and
sometimes it's a bit of a challenging, because people don't know, what are you? And I'm like, well, I do both, really. I can go teach you a cardio salsa class too if you want. I'm kidding.
And I think what I have discovered is the other day I was talking to Nadia Murdoch, and then she was saying, I train in bar, but then I discovered Pilates and actually made my bar even better.
Well, and it's true in the fact that I've trained so many, thousands and thousands of instructors in the industry, and a lot of them were fitness instructors that came to bar. And I told them, the way you can be a better bar instructor is going and taking a MATS Pilates certification. Go and learn, because that will make you a bar instructor better. But that's my interpretation of what bar is, because it makes you a better instructor. But there's so many different bar elements now, like hit bar and and stuff like that. But still, I still think, in my opinion, the bar it should be about alignment. It should be, first and foremost, is your alignments. And then once they've got the alignment, and after the alignment, then they can start learning to move and layer in more complex choreography. But if they don't have the alignment, they don't have the foundation, you shouldn't be moving them up, and it's the same as in Pilates. You got to get your basics down, your fundamentals, before you start going up. And I think sometimes when I see in bar in general, when they're really just trying to go for the burn and the shake, which is great, but if they don't have the alignment and they don't have the stability, and you're just pushing them, then that's what I don't agree with. And that's what I think Booty Bar is known for, is the fact that we work safely, but we also work energetically, but in a safe manner. And I think that's important, and that's where I work really hard to keep bar in that element, because it's really important for me. I feel that bar is my baby. I feel that I'm a spokesperson for bar, and I have a high standard with it, and it needs people like us to do that. And a lot of my bar master trainers, bar instructors globally out there, and I'm very proud of them, because that's what they uphold to, and that's what's made them successful. I mean, many of my instructors have got, well, they obviously had many studios, or they've had very successful studios, and it makes me very proud that I've been able to help all these people open up studios, be entrepreneurs, and push themselves out of their comfort zone. So I think one of the biggest things for me in my career, one of my biggest accomplishments, I honestly say, is really helping people see their own potential. I think because I didn't really have anybody do that to me. I was very self-driven. I was very self-made, in that respect. Mm-hmm. Didn't come from an affluent family, didn't have any money supported. I had to do it myself. But I think that's good. And that's why the work ethic I try and give to my kids is that nothing's going to come to you. You've got to go out and get it yourself. You've got to work for it,
Yeah, that's right. And then all this time of growing your personal brand and your business, what have been the biggest challenges? Or if you can name only one, and how have you overcome? If you think about what has been the biggest challenge?
I think the biggest challenge is to diversify with yourself. like, because there's only one of me, and then being
Mm-hmm.
able to find, you know, to be able to, what's the word, to be able to give more of your workload onto other people. I think diversify. Um,
Delegate.
that's the word. I couldn't think of the word delegate. I would honestly say that would probably be my biggest delegation, because I'm such a person that will, I don't micromanage at all. I like people to be their own person. But I'm just a doer. I just do it, and that's the hard part for me, to go, this is you. And I've been trying really hard, and to be able to do that, go, this is your job, this is what you do. And I've got better over the years of being able to do
And
that.
I get you. I know how hard it's like, oh, it would be faster if I just do it.
That's
Right? But then you think
exactly.
it's like, no, because I cannot do it every time. So I have to stop, explain, guide, and let the other person, even my mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. I think that's the hardest part growing a company, is the delegation, really, because it's quicker to do it yourself. And then it's longer to train people up to do it. I can just do it myself. And then you're always multitasking. I'm always doing this. I mean, I don't know. I'm always doing like 50 million projects, but I can't just do one. I do, like, this is how I work. It's very bizarre. Like, I have 3 different projects going on, and then I start with that, and then, okay, all right, I'm going to move on to that one. Then I go to the other one, and then, okay, back to that one. And then I do this. I go like this. And it keeps my mind going. Like, I can't, like, I wish, that's one thing I do wish, that I could, like, okay, this is a project. I'm just going to go through with it like this. I can't do that. To me, that's boring. I got to do that. I got to do this. And then I go back to that. But I always do it. I always say what I'm going to do, and I always complete it. I work really good underneath pressure. Like, if I've got pressure on me, like, I'll do it. Like, I work really hard underneath pressure. If I don't have the pressure, I'm not as good. So what I do to myself is, I'm like, okay, I'm releasing this video out. I'm doing this challenge. I'm going to do a new program. And I set the dates, and then I put it out there. I put it out there, and I can't back out. I can't back out. I've got to do it. I've got to perform to it. And then I do it. Crazy.
Tracey, let me ask you a question. I'm good on time. Are you good still on time? Because we have been already here for probably 30 minutes.
Oh, no.
And I have way more questions. Are you still good on
Yes,
time?
I'm fine. Just ask me a few more questions. But
And we
yeah,
have
I talk too much. But I do
loyal
talk too much.
viewers. We have loyal viewers. So if you're okay, let's keep moving. So I'm going to go a bit more personal. And you had a brain tumor, right? Mm-hmm. How did that change your life? Or what was the impact? Positive, negative?
I think, well,
tell us if you're okay sharing. Tell us a bit.
Oh, no.
What time of your career did you discover that brain tumor, and then
it's actually been, it's actually December 2nd will be 6 years since I had the surgery. It was like an 7-hour surgery, and it was this side, and it was the size of a golf ball.
Oh, wow.
And but prior to that, I was traveling a lot. I was teaching booty bar, barless. It was mostly booty bar. I was teaching all over the world. And that particular month, I'd been in Dubai. I'd been in, I think, Sydney. I'd been in, I think I've been in Boston. And in between that, I'd fly home. And then I was flying to the UK. Now, prior to this, I had a lot of migraines, like a ton of migraines, but it would be kind of round about when you would ovulate. So I just thought it was a hormonal thing, because all my family had migraines. So my mom, my grandma have always had migraines. And I just thought it was towards my late 30s. It was about 37 at the time, that I thought, like, oh, it's my hormones,
Mm-hmm.
So my doctor never said, get an MRI or anything. And I was like, oh, it's fine. I just dealt with it. So anyway, I'm in London teaching a course actually in Blackpool. Actually, I was in Blackpool teaching a course. I had a master trainer with me, Rachel, who was learning to be a master trainer. Thank God she was there. She took over the course because basically I was taken to hospital. Ended up in the hospital where I was born in the Midlands because my mom come and got me from Blackpool, took me to the hospital. And they did an MRI there and then because my eye was dilated. And I always wondered why this eye was dilated. And it was funny, like a few weeks prior to this, I'd had a photograph taken. And I said to the photographer, I said, great photo, but can you like airbrush my eye? Because it looks a little bit bigger. And like, like, why didn't I think? You just don't, right?
Yeah, you don't know.
No, you don't know. Now I do. I'm like, it's a first sign, you know? And I had the MRI and woke up to my poor mother and dad like sobbing because they told my mom I had this brain tumor that was the size of a golf ball, and they showed her the MRI, and my mom was like, "Oh, you've got the wrong person. She's a fitness expert. She's too healthy. That's not her." And it was so crazy. And the story goes, I'll tell you the story because it's kind of crazy, but I'm in the hospital in England, and the doctor comes in. They do an MRI on my total MRI. They find something a little bit suspicious in my liver, and they're like, we think this is a secondary, this is your primary. And I'm like, so you think I have cancer? And they're like, we don't know, but we think you should go back to California, spend, what time you have with your family. And I was like, what? I was like, that's not a very good bedside manner. I'm sorry, but this is not. And so I have to laugh because if I don't laugh, I'll start crying. I got up. I'm in this hospital. I put my dressing gown on. I said, I want to leave now. I want to get out of this place. I want to go. And I said, I'm sorry. I need to go. I need to go back to California. So my mom picked me up, and I walk out the hospital with my gowns on and my suitcase. And we book a flight. I fly back the next day on my own. My mom was arguing with me. No, you can't go home. You got to stay here. I'm like, no, hell, I'm going back to California. I got to go back to my family. Oh my God, it was crazy. So I come back, had an MRI. Nothing wrong with your liver. Check. That had gone. Check. Your liver's fine. I went, oh, good. That's good. But you have a brain tumor. Okay. So I went to a bunch of doctors. They all said the same. We think it's a meningioma, but we don't know. We don't know. You got to have surgery ASAP because it's like getting bigger. Great. So had surgery at USC on my daughter's birthday, December 2nd, 7-hour surgery, and come out. And thank God it was a meningioma. It wasn't cancer. I was so lucky. I'm so blessed. Somebody was looking down on me but that was the hardest thing to go through. That it's like having like 5-6 weeks of like not knowing. It's just very surreal. It's yeah, I still can't talk about it, but yeah, because it changes your life. So when we're going through really bad times as we are right now, as a whole community, as a whole world, I think it's nothing to think of losing everything. We're going to get past this pandemic. I mean, we're going to get past it. People are going to come closer together because you realize what it's like to be away from people. Mm-hmm. People are going to come closer together. So this is nothing. So that's why I'm a very positive person, because I've been given a chance. That's all. That's why it's still very hard for me to talk about. Sorry, I got my
I'm sorry about that. And thank you so much. I appreciate so much you're sharing this with us. But I think this is so powerful, Tracy, because there are so many, people out there going through so many things now, pandemic or not pandemic related. And we need to put things in perspective as well, right? So
I think we all need to put everything into perspective, like we truly do. And it is hard for me. Sometimes I feel lonely too. We all feel lonely, but you got to put things into perspective here. You have your life, you have your health, and you have everything. Like money, being popular, being famous, who cares? It doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. If you've got your family, which I mean, I think we should all look at this as a positive time where you've had time to spend so much amazing time with your family that I would never normally do because I'd be traveling all over the world. And after that, I was like, I'm not doing this amount of traveling. I stepped back, and that's when I did delegate more. I have all these amazing master trainers like all over the world. And I was like, you guys are going to teach this great course. I don't want to travel as much. I want to stay home with my family and do more stuff at home and still teach, but not travel as much. And that was my turning point, yes. And I think I was given a chance. I was given a second life. I look at it like that. So when things go bad, which is right now, I look at it and go, oh, this is nothing. And that's it. No, I don't want to downplay it. It really is a lot right now. I have friends who have got very ill from it. A good friend of mine lost her dad. I mean, it's just awful. But we have the control to stop ourselves from getting it. We still have to live our life, though. I do believe that. We still have to get out there and live our life and try not to be so scared of it, because we do have to live in the present. This is your life. We have to live in our present too. And I know it's hard to live in your present right now, but you have a gift of being healthy and living. And we just have to be smart and safe and do the things right. And, you know, we're in a mask mandate here, which is something that we've had to adhere to, and we do. And whether it helps or not, we do it. And we just do the best that we can. So I think we have to look at the silver lining. Go find that silver lining.
Right. And there is always one.
There's always a silver lining. There always is. You just got to go find it. Sometimes it's really hard to find, but trust me, I get it. But you got to find it.
And then, Tracey, you're a mom. How do you balance? Because I think it's still women, even if we have husbands that help tons, but women, we have, I think, a bit more of work at home. And then when we run our own business, right? Mm-hmm. It comes something else, and mom is mom. Like, kids always need mom. So how do you balance that?
I think as a mom is first, no matter what, period. But it is hard at the beginning when you're trying to establish yourself. I think that was the hardest point for me. I had my mom and dad live here at the time, so that was a very fortunate thing. Balance is hard, but I think I have a very good balance because I have a studio that's super close to my home. I'm always able to be home. I'm always present with my family. I have a very open relationship with my kids because I've always been around for them mostly.
How old are they?
My son just turned 17 last week, and then my daughter turns 19 in December 2nd. Yeah, I know. So yeah, they're getting old now. Yes. But so finding balance, I think, is just, you know, you have to get your priorities. You have to be super organized. I think organization is the key. Organizing, you know, your life with your family, I think, is the hardest point. Balance is something you strive for every day. But first and foremost for me is always my kids. That they come first, the family, and then everything else is secondary. It's like, you know, my eldest one, well, not my youngest one, he plays a lot of football, soccer. So I used to do all my schedule around his games. Amber played volleyball. I do all his schedule around that. I was always there for them because I know how important it is to be that face in the audience, whether you like the sport or not. You need to be there for them. And so I think I set myself up to be a mom and an entrepreneur. And I think I did a pretty good job on the most part with it. I think I did, just because I had a studio close by. So, yeah.
So we're coming now to the end, and I have the two questions that I ask everyone. And the first one is, who do you admire and why? Only one person.
Who do I admire? Like, I would say probably...
Or who has inspired you?
I think it's who has inspired me in the Pilates world more than anything. I would actually say Ray Ali Zakowicz with Body Arts and Science. Because I love his athletic, his flow, his charisma. He inspired me when I moved here in '96, and I found him and was able to do all his trainings and train with him, and then one was one of his faculty members right at the beginning. That was a big turning point really for me, even though I trained with other Pilates instructors. I've been doing Pilates since forever. But he was the one that really, it kind of all came together for me, because I think if he was listening to it, I think we're very similar in our style of teaching, whether it's because he's inspired me or whether I was like that before, who knows. But his athleticism, his flow, his attention to detail, really probably did inspire and shape me as an instructor in the Pilates realm, most definitely. So I admire him, because I admire him also because he has always stayed true to who he is and true to his brand, and never gone too big to let go of that authenticity of his brand. And I've always been his biggest supporter and his biggest promoter. And I'm one of these people that always pay back the people that have inspired me or mentored me. And I think that's what everybody should do more of, because I've mentored many people and inspired many people, and those people that truly like pay back to me or just say thank you, Tracey, or thank you so much, that, do you know how much that means to me, that somebody actually acknowledges that I've actually helped them in their career and not just claimed it for themselves? Does that make sense? So I understand Rael so much, because there've been a lot of people that have done that to him, but I never me. And I think there's a lot of people out there that could pay back to their mentors a little bit more, because they probably think it doesn't mean anything to them. But you got to understand, that's why we do it. That's why I do it. That's why I teach teachers, to be able to teach other people, right? That's why I do it. Just pay back. That's all. Say thank you.
Yes, that's totally right. And then, so Tuckets is about feet. So let's talk about your own feet. What do you think about your own feet? Do you like them? Do you don't like them?
Well, feet is everything. So that's why it's so important to have good feet, because your feet sets the alignment up for the rest of your body. If your feet is in the correct alignment, it's going to go tick, 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 all the way up to the rest of your body. Your foundation is the most important part of your body. So people underestimate the power of your foot, and especially in bar work, which is another thing that really is something I'm very passionate about, because when you look on Instagram and social media, when they're on that demi point on a releve and they're super high on that releve, if people know me out there, that I don't like that. Even though I'll do it sometimes and I have to stop myself from doing it, I do releve, but we call it the kitten heel. We don't stiletto heel. So when we're in your cute little tuck-it socks, I don't like to see a high stiletto heel. I like to see a baby kitten heel. So the weight is over the ball of the foot, and that will allow your ankle joint to be in a better alignment for the rest of the whole of the body to be in alignment. So your feet are super important. So we need to take more care of them. And I love reflexology too.
And then how do you take care of your feet?
I like to massage. I like foot massages. I like going to get a foot massage when they're open. Right now, I don't think they're really open right now in LA, or maybe they are, but I don't think so. Not in Los Angeles right now. But I love to go and get feet massages, and I sit like I'm sitting here right now. You've got me sitting and I'm massaging my feet, especially my insteps of my feet. Absolutely.
Well, and then so here I have a gift for you, and actually you're going to be one of the very first one to get it. We just launched a gift set that is a foot care gift set. It comes and I'm opening it for everyone here. It comes in its own bag. This bag, for the ones that know me and pockets, you know that
my dog. Sorry,
we are a sustainable company. It's okay. We're a sustainable company, so made out of plastic bags. Sorry. So you just open it here. And then you can reuse this bag and keep your tuckets or anything else. And then you will find leg warmers. How much you need
Oh,
them in LA, but
oh
those
my God,
leg
I
warmers.
love leg
And
warmers
you will
because it
find
makes
some of our Christmas designs. So
you
I will
got
take
Christmas.
this down.
Oh.
And then the last thing that we have in this amazing bag is lavender magnesium foot cream and a liquid foot soak. So this is to take care of your feet. And maybe your husband or one of your kids can give you a foot massage. And then if one day that you're too tired, you know, you just can add this to a bucket of warm water or in the hot tub, and you will get an amazing magnesium foot soak for your feet.
Oh,
So where I'm sending
that's
you
a nice
this.
Christmas present.
Yeah.
That makes a great Christmas present because
So right.
hopefully you'll sell lots of those because they're so beautiful for a Christmas present, especially for people that teach barre and they go too high on a releve. They need that foot rub.
Exactly. So if any of you like, those are available, and there are different options, many different options. But this is kind of the Tuckets gift set for the season, and you're going to be one of the first ones.
Okay, that's so great. Those leg warmers
And
have
also,
my
I'd
name
like
on
to
them.
tell you a bit about this. This
Okay.
is because I didn't have this product but before. I interviewed a reflexologist in one of the series of these Instagram lives, and then she created her own foot cream. And one of the reasons is because she had an autistic kid, and herself, she was suffering so much of just the stress of taking care, of someone in need. And then she couldn't find any product that could keep up with what she needed. And then she developed her own products. And then she developed something also related, especially for the food. And we did a collaboration. And also it's our way to support another small business.
That's
another
so nice.
Business. So this is extra special as well. And actually, it really works. I tried them, and those are amazing.
Would it make me sleep better?
Yeah, actually, the secret is like this cream. You can not only put it on, and actually, I did. Sometimes I get
like here,
right? So I rub the cream around here. It works wonders.
Oh, I need that. I'm sitting here, the posture perfect here.
Yeah. You'll get it soon because we're starting to ship them this week. So.
Oh, that's so great! Yay!
And then it's a way to celebrate the 10 years of Beauty Bar, right? So happy birthday!
Well, it's 11 now.
11 now.
It's 11 now. I know, bizarre. Like I said, the 2020 is just like gone. Ping! It's just gone poof.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I think it's been fun to like pivot, just like you had to pivot, collaborate, come together. That's kind of like the messaging that we all have to have, like how we come together to support each other is so important. It really is. And that's
and trying to see the human side of the social media, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The fact that you can do this.
Like this is exactly what I wanted to get. Like I want to see, and I want everyone to know the behind the pictures of Tracey. Like what's behind Tracey. And you're such an amazing woman, and thank you so much for sharing your story.
Oh, thank you. Really, sorry, I got a little bit upset there.
And then thank you for all this time. This is the first time. Usually it's like 20 minutes, but
I'm sorry. Like I know I talk so much. Sorry about that.
It's great. I mean, all of this is amazing, and I'm sure like you're already with this interview, we're already helping someone out there.
Well, thank you so much. If we can inspire one person to either get off the couch and move, or inspire you to take that leap of faith into a new business, or collaborate with people, get out there and do it. Don't be frightened to message somebody. Like when somebody messages me and I might, answer them back, they're like, wow, you answered me back. I'm like, yeah, why would I not? We're humans. We're just normal people. So remember that we're not just a face. We are a human people with a beating heart.
Right.
All right. Where's my heart? That's not a very good heart, is it? There you go. All right. Thank you so much.
Perfect.
So much. Thank you.
I send you a hug. I hope to give it to you one day in person, whenever we can again.
whenever we can travel again, next year in 2021. I'm doing a retreat in Mexico in May that was cancelled last year. I am doing it in May. There's no reason why I cannot. I am doing it, and I still have all the people that are still coming in May 21. We're going to Mexico. Where's it? At Tulum.
I may come.
I'll need it. Yeah, you should come.
I may give that to myself as a gift.
All right.
With Tracey. Perfect, Tracey.
Thank you
so much.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.